intention for this message tonight is to highlight the delectable magic of the female body, because unfortunately we're not led to believe that it is delectable magic to be in a female body unless it's sexually perfect, gorgeous, beautiful, fit, all these things, these expectations that get put on us. And what I'd love to just share with you tonight is almost how the body, not how, what the body can be. And I put a post up earlier about the 3 characters that are almost the muses or the guides to embodiment. Oh, they're like these mythical characters that are taking this journey towards you and your absolute embodiment of who you are in this life. And these mythical characters are on their journey towards you, and then suddenly, pow, these other villains and obstacles and things pop up on the journey, and they can't get to you, and you're reaching for them going, come to me, I need you, my body feels in pain, and my emotions are bad. And then these characters going, we can't get to you, there's these things in the way, what have you put up? Push down this wall. So what I'm going to share with you tonight is who those characters are and what some of those blocks are. And rather than saying, and you get rid of the blocks like this, this, and this, the idea is going to be to magic those blocks away, to feel your way through them, to know them, to meet them, to see that they're not what you think they are. So that is the essence of this training. So, unfortunately, what happens in the body work world, fitness, beauty, fashion, is we're given a very masculine paradigm around the female body, which sounds like a paradox, which it is. Because we're told if you do a certain output and input, you get a result, right? And that's how the body works. Do that. And we're told, how is it meant to work? And the how of everything and the doing, achieving is very masculine. It's very achieve things, do things. Now, all of us have masculine, feminine within us. And we do have sometimes more of a tendency towards one or the other. And sometimes that's why we feel out of balance, because either we're being too masculine, how do I get stuff done? I'm the doer, I'm the push, do, achieve the things, protect, provide, masculine. And we're doing that all the time. And so then our feminine, which is what are we creating? Where are we creating? When are we creating? Who's involved? Or the who's, that's the feminine, it's creating beauty. That gets pushed aside because of, here's my to-do list, just got to do all the things. Or we get really stuck in the what and the beautiful and become perfectionists, and how and moving forward in stuff gets forgotten as well. So it's finding that little flow and divine balance of how you mix those two together. Now, the masculine view of the body is output. What can you do? What can you achieve? What can you look like? It's how are you going to prove that you're whatever you want to prove with your body? The feminine of the body, the female, is about connection and beauty. Now, I'm not really going to go into the beauty one because that's a whole other training that's completely been hijacked by society and the media and sales and marketing and pay your money because you're shit kind of messaging. But I am going to go into the connection piece, because that, in essence, is the beauty and the magic of a female body, is the woman's ability to have this connection to a spirit source, if you operate that way, God, whatever you want to call it, but also the ability to heart space connect with the people around us and to create belonging, community, tribe, family. Estrogen is a fabulous hormone that allows us to do this. And it evolutionarily, in the feminine female body, it predisposes us towards that kind of being. And that's all about connecting to others, connecting to ourselves, connecting to our environments. And that's why we tend to blame ourselves as women. Oh, I'm just multitasking and I can't think straight and I'm so changed with my mind. And we think about ourselves having to be masculine, focus, get stuff done. Now, we have that ability, but if we live too much in that ability, we pull ourselves into stress and overwhelm and not having the ability to flow, but being pushed into like a constricted, contracted state. And to be in the feminine is to allow that diffuse attention, which is so aware of everything and can feel it all and be part of it all and know where to place it, when to place it, who to place it with, and what it will create when it's placed. That right there is the power of the feminine. And unfortunately, we buy into the just got to be beautiful, just got to be sexy, just got to be perfect. and that's it. It's like, no, female body is this amazing thing that you live in that can guide you into creating beauty in all parts of your life. Your spirituality, your ambition, your creativity, your emotions, your feelings, your thoughts, your training, your qualifications, all the things that are kind of aspects of you are actually connected to your physical body, are embodied in this physical machine, people call it, not a machine, in this organism that's touchable, feelable, experienceable. And in being able to know this, appreciate it, understand it, and not understand as in, oh, I know something, but understand as in, I hear you, I hear what's going on. That kind of understanding that, you know, a woman sits down and goes, I may not understand everything you just said, but I can feel where you're at. That kind of understanding. If we learn to have that connection to the understanding of our female bodies, we embody our experience in this life. And suddenly the whole drive, do, contraction doesn't become important, and we drop back into ease and grace and relax. And that is where we come into what's called feminine power. So feminine power is not what people say of blah, sexy, attractive, all this womb, quite big, aggressive. It can be, because if masculine joins with the feminine at that point, it becomes quite powerful in that way. But another part of the power of the feminine is that relaxed ease of almost just soaking everything in, like water goes, the power of water, just soak it all in and go, yeah, I got you all. I can hold all of this because I'm water and I'm powerful and I'm all encompassing. And that right there is the feminine power of the body. So, moving swiftly along, because I could just talk about that forever because it's flipping amazing. The three things, the three characters that are trying to get towards you. Okay, so you're going to see yourself in the story as a woman. So imagine you are standing on a mountaintop waiting for divine inspiration. What's my purpose here in life? Who am I? Why am I? And I work with a lot of women who are into spiritual practices and law of attraction and kind of mindset work, and they're all very up here. And it is like they're standing on a mountain going, what do I reach for? Why do I do this? I work with other women who are quite practical, almost masculine, and they're achieving stuff in this world. They've got their projects and they're doing for all the people, and they're doing it, like digging in the dirt on top of the mountain. They're mining that mountain for the gold, the earth gold that's in it. And they're all doing this. And what's getting forgotten in the middle is them. And so some of them are going, what can I grab from here? How do I bring all this beautiful stuff here down to earth? And the other women are working hard on the earth, digging things up, pulling stuff up, going, how do I put this into sharing this with all the people out there? Because they can't bring all that stuff they've pulled up from the earth and share it outwards, because there's this block in the middle, which is the embodiment piece. And the three characters walking towards them, going, we've got the answer for you. We know how you can embody this. And they're coming up the mountain towards us. Those three characters are food, touch, and movement. Right there. The absolute key to a body. You can stop watching right now. Turn it off. Go on, you're done. That's it. Food, touch, and movement are the three characters walking up that mountain towards you, saying, this is how you embody this journey. Now think about it. Food, touch, and movement are the three most abused, neglected, oversold, overmarketed, manipulated areas for the female body. Food to us becomes either good and bad, naughty, good, diet, being fat, being thin. It becomes, food is medicine, it's how I find my health, and they're all valuable aspects in that part of food. However, when food becomes that kind of scientific, medical, rule-based thing, it almost becomes a chain. It becomes like a cage that holds us. And I like to offer something to you. Instead of thinking of food as fuel, or food as medicine, or food as the diet to get you thin, or food as the culprit for keeping you fat, food is nourishment. And if you're thinking of nourishment, it's not like I'm hungry, starving, fill a hole. It's more like a flower being watered, plant, anything that grows. And it's that, I don't know if you've ever had a really dry plant at home. I've had many of those. I'm good with plants now, but I haven't been in the past. And you water the plant, and the water kind of sits on top, and it doesn't fill the cracks, and it takes a soaking of that plant, for that nourishment to soak in and be absorbed. And that, unfortunately, we see food as that starving, hungry, dry plant, pour the water on, feed that thing. And it becomes that kind of necessity thing rather than a nourishment that makes us just slowly seeps into us. And then we just go, we're just growing. Rather than trying to become something because of the food, or trying to stop something because of the food, or trying to solve something with the food, it just becomes living and being nourished and growing. Food is one of those characters walking towards us going, this is how you embody, this is how you ground yourself back to earth and say, I belong here on this earth, in this physical. Food is a way to do that. Anything that comes up for you as I'm sharing with you, anything you're interpreting, remembering, feeling, note it, write it down, note it in your mind. But you're thinking, oh, what does that mean to me? How do I relate to that? Do I believe her? Don't I? And have those conversations with yourself as I'm sharing stuff, because I want you to interpret this for you. This is not me telling you how it is. This is me saying, this is my experience of my embodiment. And if that somehow connects you to your embodiment, woo! Job done. And it's not that you have to do it my way, but I'm offering another way to look at things that hopefully will wake something up inside your physical that brings that connection piece. The next character walking up the hill, going, we've got embodiment for you. We're coming. We're here to help you embody yourself in this life, is touch. And touch, again, is one of the hugely abused and sometimes even neglected parts of a woman's experience in this world. And touch, unfortunately, has become touch is just sexual. Touch is shameful, touch is dangerous, and unfortunately, because of that, women are told you need to be safe. Be safe because your virtue and your body must not be touched only by your husband or only by somebody that's really personal to you, instead of thinking, well, actually, touch is about sensory stuff. Touch is about you touching yourself in lots of ways, any way you like. Touch is about feeling human connection. Skin has so many messages to give us. Skin allows us to experience the world. It protects us from the experience of the world as well. Skin is actually the largest organ of our body. And in being the largest organ of our body, allows us to experience the outside world without being damaged and falling apart. Hurrah for skin! So touch is one of those characters walking towards us that unfortunately gets usually shot. Forget just tripping up and limping up the hill. Touch literally is like, down, you're done. Touch is off the table because of either a bad experience with touch, abuse, or just not ever knowing how to say with touch, this is what I like, this is what I need, this is what makes me feel like I'm in my body. And my background in body work is in massage, and the most powerful thing I find with massage is not so much, oh, I can solve your muscle tension, but, oh, look, my hand touching your skin reminds you where your body is. But if we can think of touch instead of nurture, because I'm saying that the skin is the biggest organ of the body, and to have that awareness of where we are is nurturing, to be saying, I feel you. I feel that you're here. I have that experience of feeling that I'm present. And that's nurturing. That not only nurtures our body, our skin cells, our nervous system, but it also nurtures our soul to know that we are felt, to know that we are accepted and held and safe. And as women, that is really, really important to us. So touch is equivalent to nurture. Because again, at the start I said, as women, we're very connected to energy, we're connected heart space, empathy, we're connected to our environments, we're connected to the people in those environments, we're connected to our things. We feel everything in kind of a sense, a clairsentient way. We're aware of that sensing outside of us without even touching anything. And to have the physical touch reminds us suddenly, oh, we're real, we're physical. And sometimes if there's been a lot of pain in our bodies, we don't like to be touched because, everything that comes at me is just painful. I don't want that. And so we almost then pushing touch away, shooting it. Forget you coming up the hill. Touch is not relevant for me. Or we're scared of the power of touch because it brings up such passion within us, such lust, such things that we talk, that's naughty to be lustful, whatever you've been brought up with. And then we feel like touch is something naughty or bad or a bit, we don't really talk about that because maybe we're too British or whatever, you've been brought up a certain way. But touch in itself is a powerful, powerful embodiment. So that's the second character walking up that hill. Third one, which I did say, is movement. So movement has become the exercise industry as I sob and go, what the fuck happened with exercise? Movement is not exercise. Exercise is one way to move, and unfortunately we as women have been sold the thing that you need to exercise because that will make you slim. That word, I think I just vomited in my mouth. Exercise will give you the figure you want and will keep you in shape. What shape, for God's sake? Who said which shape we should be in? Don't get me started. I'm not going on that training either. But movement is about the ability to move your body. How your body moves in the space you're in. And being able to know and feel your body move allows inspiration to come. Movement in terms of being able to move your body through this life. And even I've met a lot of people who are quite physically fit and do lots of exercise and yet they can't move. There's restrictions, there's aches, there's pains, there's limitations, there's holding of themselves in certain ways. And I'm saying movement is about inspiration. That's the word for the equivalent for movement. It's about inspired to be part of this dance of life. Inspired to be in this body. So rather than movement being I exercise and then I sit still all day and then I walk to the shop and it's very constricted because it's saying that's the movements we do in this life because that's what society tells us we do. Why is it movement lying on the floor, flinging your legs open and closed like this, and not because you're about to have sex, not because you're having a tantrum, just for the fun of feeling that. And it's that joy of feeling the inspiration of, okay, so my shoulder joint does lots of things. What does it feel like if I do lots of things with it? And I'm not saying this is how you need to do this. I'm saying be aware that your body's movement is available to you in so many ways that you've probably never tried, because the paradigm of society is to say, move for these certain activities and the rest of the time please stay in your place and stay small and unnoticed, lady, because we don't want you being offensive in any way and you don't want to shame yourself, do you? And unfortunately what I do see in the fitness industry is lots of people go, yeah, it's all about movement, but then they're offering an exercise regime within that, so it just becomes another method, another, oh, we have to do it this way to be called movement. So, oh, for God's sake, why can't movement simply be sitting doing tapping your fingers, anything, something that moves you, something that gets you, something that creates rhythm, creates momentum, creates your body reacting to the ground that you're on. That's movement. And by doing that, you create inspiration inside of you, because movement is not about achieving something. It is in the masculine. Movement is about achieving something, going somewhere in the masculine. In the feminine, movement is about feeling inspired. So I don't know if any of you are really, really into dancing. Dancing is my thing. It's what makes me come alive. If I get the right music at the right time, I can move in a way that just makes me, like there's a feeling that bubbles through my body and goes, this is just making me feel something. And I can get ideas in that space. I can literally just tap into feelings I've not been able to feel for a while. That right there is the power of movement to inspire.